Hey guys, welcome back to Maniba Invests. In today's video, we'll be taking a deep dive into Filecoin. If you've been following the crypto market, you would have seen that Filecoin has performed exceptionally well this week. So, is Filecoin a legit project, or is it just overpriced hot garbage? Today we'll explore just that. We'll take a look at the products it's offering, if it has strong fundamentals to back its claims, the problems it's trying to solve, and the partnerships it has. After all that, we'll take a look at some price predictions, and then finally, with all the knowledge gained from our research, we'll be able to predict how much 1,000 Filecoin tokens will be worth by 2025. As always, I do have timestamps down below, so if you're short on time, feel free to skip to certain parts of the video. In return, all I ask is for you to smash that like button, subscribe, and press the bell icon. This way you'll stay up to date with the latest unbiased crypto news. That being said, let's get into it. First, let's take a look at what Filecoin is. According to their website, it's a decentralized storage network designed to store humanity's most important information. It's an open-source cloud storage marketplace, protocol, and cryptocurrency. So essentially, it's a decentralized version of Dropbox, or Google Cloud Storage, or iCloud. But instead of having massive storage facilities, it runs on a peer-to-peer network where people from around the world can rent out their spare storage in exchange for a monetary reward. This sounds like great technology, but are they solving any problems? We already have storage facilities like Dropbox, so why switch over to a decentralized storage option? Well, let's take a look. First reason to switch is because decentralized storage makes the web robust and resilient. Today, information on the internet is addressed by location, not by its title or what information it carries. This system is brittle, inefficient, and unnecessary. As an example, imagine that we could only reference books by the physical location of a copy, not by title or author or ISBN. Only the location of the physical object. Decentralized storage systems would solve this issue by creating content-addressed links that use content's cryptographic hash as a unique identifier or fingerprint. The second reason is that decentralized storage is dangerous. There are just a few massive corporations that own nearly all of the global cloud data storage market. This consolidation is painful. Users must trust these large corporate actors to protect their data from exposure. The cost of switching cloud providers is high. Data is stored very far from the end users, and providers are incentivized to lock their customers and extract a premium. Decentralized storages would solve this issue as well. Now, this all sounds great. We understand that decentralized storages have advantages over centralized exchanges. But the real question is that does Filecoin specifically have strong enough fundamentals to be able to provide such a service? To answer this, we must take a look at what IPFS is. IPFS is the backbone of the Filecoin system. IPFS allows peers to store, request, and transfer verifiable data with each other, while Filecoin is designed to provide a system of persistent data storage. So basically, IPFS is the brains behind the operations. It deals with the decentralized transfer of information, while Filecoin is an incentive structure running on IPFS, which clients pay for. Let's take a deeper look into how IPFS works. When you add a file to IPFS, your file is split into smaller chunks, cryptographically hashed and given a unique fingerprint called a content identifier. This CID acts as a permanent record of your file. When other nodes look up your file, they ask their peer nodes for that specific CID. When they view or download your file, they cache a copy and become another provider of your content until their cache is cleared. Once a node has a copy of its own, it can either keep it forever or discard it to save space. This means each node in the network stores only content it's interested in, plus some indexing information that helps figure out which node is storing what. With allowing random people to store files, there is a question of security. So how does IPFS ensure that the files won't be tampered with? Well, if you add a new version of your file to IPFS, its cryptographic hash is different, and as such it gets a new CID. This means files stored on IPFS are resistant to tampering and censorship. Any changes to the file don't overwrite the original, and common chunks across the file can be reused in order to minimize storage costs. That was the IPFS system. It's a very simple system to understand and is very powerful. But like every system, there are pros and cons to it. The main pros are that it's cost efficient. Filecoin has a large free market for data storage, and this should drive the price down. It's also economic. Instead of having to build massive billion-dollar storage facilities, Filecoin makes use of existing resources. And it's also safe because information is distributed over thousands of nodes, so there is no single point of attack, making it harder to compromise. And of course, it does have some cons. One of them being is that it's slower than conventional centralized storage options. This is because for us to download a file, we'll have to access several servers, and even if one of those servers has a low internet speed, it will slow down the entire process. The second disadvantage is that Filecoin only accepts payments via its Filecoin token. This is an additional step users will have to go through to access the Filecoin network. Although this is a disadvantage, it is justifiable, because by only accepting payments using their own native token, Filecoin has been able to generate a lot of trading volume, which has made the project a lot more valuable. Overall, looking at the problems Filecoin is trying to solve, how the IPFS system works, and then looking at its pros and cons, I personally do believe Filecoin does have strong fundamentals and can definitely provide utility to the decentralized world. Next, let's take a look at Filecoin's current partnership and what they have in store for the future. This will greatly help us value the company, which will in turn help us predict how much Filecoin token could be worth in the future. On August 26, Filecoin partnered with Dapper Labs to propel the future of the NFT and gaming metaverse on Flow blockchain. For any of you who might not be familiar with Dapper Labs, they're the team behind CryptoKitties, Dapper Wallet, and the highly successful NBA Top Shot. They've built a formidable ecosystem in the NFT and gaming space. This is a huge partnership, and the main reason why the Filecoin token has performed so well recently. This second wave of crypto can be credited to the exponentially growing NFT market, and now that Dapper has integrated Filecoin, Filecoin has also begun to reap the rewards of the NFT bloom. Not only is this partnership great for Filecoin, it's also very profitable for Dapper Labs, because they can now create immutable NFT metadata, using IPFS content addressing and provable and decentralized storage with Filecoin. NFT storage makes it easy to protect NFT assets and associated metadata, ensuring that all NFTs follow the best practices to stay accessible long-term. Another massive partnership they have is with Polygon. On August 20th, they announced Filecoin Polygon Bridge. To further encourage developers to try out and build on the bridge, Polygon is offering free storage costs for any projects using the textile bridge. Both projects have also lined up 2 upcoming joint hackathons, where developers can try their hands at the bridge and try building new applications. This is another great collab and is beneficial for both Polygon and Filecoin. With the free storage incentive, it will get developers familiarized with the Filecoin network. The more developers they can get to use their platform, the bigger the Filecoin network will become. They recently collaborated with Chainlink as well. Chainlink Filecoin joint grants for dApps combining decentralized storage and oracles. By bringing together Filecoin and Chainlink, developers can build end-to-end decentralized applications that have cost-efficient and immutable storage capabilities, along with a universal and secure connection to external resources. Looking at all of these collabs, it's clear that right now Filecoin's main focus is getting developers familiarized with their network. They believe that they already have a strong product, and now they just need to put it in front of enough developers for them to see the value in it as well. This is very promising, because if Filecoin becomes a universal storage of choice in the crypto space, it can push the price of FIL token a lot higher. Since you've made it this far into the video, you probably have a very good understanding of what Filecoin is. You know the fundamentals behind the project and its pros and cons, and you're also aware of all of their partnerships. So now let's take a look at some of the price predictions. TradingBees predicts that by the end of 2021, the price of Filecoin token will be around $167, with optimism looming large in the coming few years for it to be between $141 to $208. According to wealth investors, this is the right time to invest in Filecoin. The year 2021 may push it up further to $257. According to GOV Capital, Filecoin price should show a great potential and could cross $336 by 2021. Digital coin price is even more bullish. According to them, this is a great time to buy Filecoin, as it may cross $458 in the next 5 years. However, the most bullish prediction comes from crypto news. They predict that the price will average between $301 in 2021, rising to $538 in 2022, $775 in 2023, and $1,130 in 2024, and finally $1,421 by 2025. For Filecoin to reach such numbers, they'll have to keep expanding their horizon and bringing in more big alliances like Polygon and Chainlink. The Filecoin token will also have to be massively adopted by institutional investors. Filecoin will face a lot of challenges on the way, a big one being that they are not the only project providing decentralized storage services. Some of their competitors are Sia, Storage, and Swarm. Filecoin does have a head start though, and holds most of the market shares as of right now. It will be interesting to see if Filecoin can form more partnerships and further expand their network. Before we take a look at how much 1,000 Filecoin tokens will be worth by 2025, we must first find a good entry point. As you guys know, Filecoin has gone up a lot recently, and it might not be the best decision to buy it at such elevated prices. As you can see from the chart, every increase in price is matched by an increase in trading volume, and is then followed by a gradual decrease in price and a gradual decrease in trading volume. This usually happens when the initial run-up is due to good news. Once the hype from the news calms down, the trading volume gradually decreases and the price gradually comes down. We have seen this trend again and again for Filecoin. Also, since Filecoin is a relatively small altcoin compared to Ethereum, the price fluctuates a lot more. So it's important to have a good entry point and not lose like 50% value right off the bat. As you can see, the price of Filecoin token is starting to come down now after its big run-up last week. It's currently testing support levels at 106 and then the next one at $95. I think a good price to buy the Filecoin token right now will be anywhere between $106 and $90. To predict how much 1,000 tokens will be worth in 2025, let's use $100 for every entry point, and $1,000 as the price prediction for 2025. That will be a 10x gain. Therefore, 1,000 Filecoin tokens will be worth $1 million by then. Looking at their strong fundamentals, partnerships, and future plans, Filecoin is definitely a very good project and has huge potential. And that wraps it up for today's video. If this video was helpful, then make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and press the bell icon. This will be greatly appreciated as it helps our small community to grow. Until next time, take care and keep investing.